Hello, I plan to start a new series on my social media. I keep coming across missing people, and I'm getting more curious on to see what the cards can say, how the whispers behind the veil can tell a story, where the quiet stories of the missing and the silence come forward through the language of tarot. And I think this is a great place for spiritual reflection. It's not an investigation. So names and details are altered out of respect. The cards speak to energy, not certainty. So today I'm turning the energy to a young woman who vanished on her way to a place of learning. So for the privacy and that of her loved ones, her name and details have been changed, but the spirit, her longing to be heard remains untouched. So here I am opening up the cards, and the first one that pops up is the Three of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles is a card that strongly ties to institutional environments, schools, campuses, or places of structured learning. It could also suggest multiple people involved, not necessarily strangers, but people working in a system or a group. It could also indicate a setup or being observed in a familiar place. So Ellie, her energy comes forward and she says, I was watched, I was noticed, and I believe it wasn't random. The Four of Pentacles, it talks about holding back, withholding, or being held. Could symbolize containment. Someone trying to control a situation or to cover something up. Also links to someone's clinging tightly to power or security, not wanting something to be exposed. Ellie says, someone tried to keep control of me, of the truth, of the narrative. The King of Cups, it expresses somebody who is emotionally mature to a point, but very guarded. It's also someone who appears kind or trustworthy, but suppresses deep emotions or manipulation. So when court cards come out, they really represent people, the energies of something. So this is someone who is a little more, could manipulate in that regard. When it's tied with the Emperor, it's showing already two strong masculine figures here. The Emperor is someone of authority, power, or institutional backing, possibly a figure tied to the university, police, or administration. Ellie says two male energies. One was calculated and charismatic. The other was controlling, a gatekeeper. The Chariot pops out. And the Chariot is normally a car or vehicle in motion. It's a movement. Physical relocation or being taken or transported. In this context, it feels like she was moved against her will. Could also represent the vehicle, or hers or someone else's. Ellie says that there was a journey, but it wasn't mine to take. When we have the Death card here reversed, it suggests a resistance to transformation or that of transition or disappearance. It didn't happen naturally. This could indicate an interrupted fate or being trapped between worlds, literally or symbolically. It often represents the soul that hasn't found peace or justice remains out of reach. Ellie says it wasn't meant to end that way. Something was blocked, unfinished. We have the Queen of Swords that pops out. This could be someone getting more clarity about something, an intuitive truth seeker, or another female figure, someone who knows more, bringing clarity, discernment, and piercing through illusion. It also speaks to cutting emotional ties to see the truth logically, stepping into more of the information. The Queen is very good with her words and at times can be critical, but she rises above the clouds to get her a better insight, better view of things. So all of this is kind of tied to what Ellie wants us to know. and there's a story opening up here. So it's about, she was drawn into a situation that looked normal on the surface. She wasn't alone, there were two men. One who knew how to play the emotional game, and one who held power. I was watched, maybe even followed. Something was set in motion that took me away, and I never returned. I wasn't meant to go like that. It wasn't natural. I want you to see what others don't. This wasn't random. Someone still knows. You can see here that there's the High Priestess along with the Knight of Wands. And in this case, with the High Priestess, it speaks about deep secrecy, hidden knowledge, and sacred secrets. We're being shown that the truth is not visible to the public, but it exists and someone knows. She may also be speaking directly to these cards. Also, that Knight of Wands, it speaks about a fast, bold, impulsive energy. Possibly someone younger or reckless involved in the moment of the disappearance. Suggests movement, passion, fire, and possibly cover up through action. Someone who acted rashly, and then ran. This is Ellie's whisper behind the veil.